How to prove income as a small business owner? Well, you make them. All of you have an ability today, in the next few hours, if you took your skills and experience and you actually knew how to monetize them, could make income today in the next few hours. So we're going to teach you how to make money over the course of a lifetime, not just get a job, but have your company make money. So number one, why proving that you actually have income, revenues, profit margins, it actually matters and counts. Number two, what institutions and lenders are going to think about it and what they're looking for if you wanted more funding. And number three, how do you properly prepare if you are going to go for some startup capital, startup money? So first to start saying small businesses are private, right? Most small and medium. They're not traded on the stock exchange, which are publicly reported and publicly aware everywhere. Their income, their expenses, what their CEO makes, their benefit package, everything's transparently held and online. Similar to government agencies, everyone is very highly transparent out there. And the private records will show your true income, it'll show your true margin. The last 3 years of tax returns are vital to a small business, especially if you're seeking more funding. The ways that you can prove some income, even if it's just you and you're getting started and what counts, make a list, write it down. Ready? Number one, if you want to purchase a home or get a loan, what is the income going to matter for? You want to actually show that you can make the money to pay for whether it's a home loan, it's a short-term rental, you want Airbnb, doesn't matter what the purchase is for. You may want to buy a franchise. Again, do you have any ability to make additional income than what you make in a job? Very, very critical. Second thing, like I said, you're going to need the last 3 years of your tax returns. If those aren't together, you probably want not only to do them, but if you had a business and it's been in a different structure, like a sole proprietor, and you just got it incorporated, I would redo your last 3 years tax returns, have them as current as possible. I would have your P&Ls, your profit and loss statements. How have you made money? In what category? So for example, I have a lot of people who want to do this. They want to write a book. They don't realize books isn't where the profit is. It's the coaching and mentoring that actually supplements the book. That's where the real money is. So we want to see, what are you actually selling? What have you generated in revenue? Is it on product sales? Is it on service-based sales? And then your bank statements tell it all. And you can't reallocate those and you can't move them around. So how you've made it and how you've spent it, that financial systems pattern is what every lender and every institute is going to look at. What else do institutes and lenders look at? Again, I'm going to give you a list. They're going to look at your personal and business tax returns for the last 3 years. Again, any P&L on any company. They want to know you know how to run a company. Even if it's not the new venture going forward, they want to see some P&Ls and balance sheets of past or prior or current companies. Bank statements are going to want at least the last 3 months, if not 6 months. And what lenders and institutions look for is your sustainability. Are you stable? Can you produce? Are you producing at $100,000 a month, $200,000 a month, $400,000 a month? What's sustainable for you and the patterns that you and your company can create. Depending on what you're buying, they're going to look at your debt to income ratio. What can you make? What have you made? What's, again, your pattern over time? You know, when you're looking at anything in due diligence, the pattern over time and the sustainability is one of the most vital, critical pieces, because the internet shows you everything. And I call the internet the bathroom wall because there's a lot of stuff that's not true and it's harder to validate. So when it comes to small and medium privately held businesses, it is private, meaning they don't have to show anybody their QuickBooks. They don't have to show anybody their payroll. They don't have to show anyone their tax returns, and none of it's transparent. So you need to dig into the sustainability of the management team to actually see that they know how to run a company. Now, if any of this is interesting to you, I'm going to get you farther into my work. I want you to read The Millionaire Maker. I'm going to give you a free copy. It's in the show notes. Read up to chapter 3, fill up the gap analysis. Send it into our office, and we're going to give you a one-on-one conversation about where you are, what do you need, can we help you get lending, can we help you with your tax strategy, can we help you with your corporate structure, your trust, et cetera, et cetera. We have a huge offer that's integrated for you and your family. And if you're going to grow a business, which I think personally was one of the best wealth building decisions you can make, is owning your own company and owning real estate are typically the two pillars to almost everyone who has created some level of wealth. While you're here, I want you to subscribe to this channel, click the notification button. I want you here 5 days a week. We're here 5 days a week and we're going on 5 years. So our content is for you. If there's some sort of content that's not in our playlist and you want us to create it, put it in the comments in the show notes so we can get to it. You can always also go to askloral.com, ASKLORAL, and say, I want to write about this. These are questions I have. The reason we're doing so much on small business and lending is we're getting a lot of questions to that. So we're answering them here on the YouTube channel. Now, the last thing is, how do you actually get prepared to provide an income statement. You're also going to need it for your balance sheet as you get into truly being a business owner. Number one, you want to keep things uncommingled, meaning you have a personal and you have business, and you might have second business, third business, fourth business. You don't ever want to have those commingled. You don't want to use your credit cards the same, your bank account the same. It needs to be very, very separated and very clearly, easily laid out on a chart of accounts. Number two, be consistent in that categorization of your P&L. So for example, one month you don't want to say it's my assistant, and the next month it's going to be a consultant, and you have all these different terms for the same person. How they're paid and how they're coded is the same. If you have product, you want to have every SKU. So you don't want to just have a SKU that says books. I have 6 New York Times, plus I have a lot of other complementary books. Like I have a book with Sharon Lechter, a book with Kevin Harrington. Every book is listed separately in our inventory, so you want to keep things as clean and obvious as possible so somebody can look through them very quickly. And then have your documentation, have your tax strategy year round. In our world, we don't file taxes April 15th. We file on September 15th for the companies and October 15th for you personally. So when you start understanding what documentation looks like keeping quarterly meetings with your tax strategy team. If you don't have a tax team, come to our big table. We'll give you an expert in every category. It's me and about 28 experts that make up this community of integration for business and wealth building. So if you have any questions about any of this, we'd love to help you, help get you launched, help get you funded. We have over 500 funding sources, but you got to call our office. So 775-588-9200, or go to Ask Loral, AskLoral, ask a question, make a request. We'll be back tomorrow.